Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for the crypto neo news, education, opportunities. My name is Lucas.
My name is Jacob.
Jinx. And we're all three here. And to give you a follow-up on an amazing innovation of blockchain and crypto, one of our favorite projects, obviously a secret network because of their attention to privacy and blockchain, a pink elephant in the room of crypto that not many protocols can boast to be aware of or to have dealt with. And to be able to build smart contracts with privacy is a huge, huge innovation. We talk about many of these applications. So if you'd like to learn more about it, you know where to come for education, for information, for research, and to help you in your own journey. This is not financial advice or medical advice or commercial advice or legal advice or marital advice. We're just sharing our perspectives and understandings and creating these fun little playlists for you to check it out on your own time. NFTs, secret NFTs, NFTs of privacy, how to start your crypto journey, Web 3.0 wallets. We actually walk you through DeFi tutorials, providing liquidity and experimenting with sending, receiving, staking. But we also love to talk about the world at large, the economy at large, and how it all fits together. It's not just blockchain, it's an emerging technology in the market, and it's displacing many markets, but it's definitely connected. So if you like to stay abreast of macroeconomic outlooks, we talk a little bit about that as well. Especially Ryan, you keep us up to date.
We try. Yeah, a lot going on with the Fed and inflation and monetary policy. So yeah, lots to cover.
And regulation, right? Out. Because in economics, you often learn that industries are protected, protectionism created by tariffs can make or break, taxes can make or break, licenses and regulations, barriers to entry can make or break entities and make entities more profitable than others. So absolutely a lot of information happening all the time, and it can affect the prices up, down, demand up, down, where it stops, nobody knows, but join us for the journey and we'll figure it out along the way. One of the great educators and pioneers, influencers in the space of blockchain, crypto, IBC, and the secret network is the gentleman Crypto Chem. We will not dox his name, although we did have the pleasure of meeting him at Decentral Austin, which was just so many great secret agents out there. So it's great to see him continuing to spread the good word. But I thought, well, shucks, this is worthy of making another little video and keeping people abreast, because stable coins have been in the news with the collapse of Luna, the UST, which we talked about a couple of weeks before it collapsed and mentioned its risk, and as well as others. But you look at algorithmic stable coins, collateral stable coins, centralized stable coins like Tether or USDC. In the future, people are learning about what is this thing called a CBDC, centralized central bank digital currencies. And these are topics we cover a lot and are very familiar with. So in the world of stable coins, what is Silk and how does it benefit from being built on secret network? What's going on? You want to throw that out there to you, Ryan,
well,
if you want to jump in?
I'll jump in on that. Yeah, I'll jump in on it. So Silk is the stable coin that's associated with Shade Protocol. This is their stable coin. It is on the secret network, so which means that we're able to have privacy, right? And Silk is a privacy-enabled stable coin. Now, one thing that makes Silk different from others is they've made some changes to where how it's designed, what the tokenomics are. Initially, it was had a more of an algorithmic basis, and now they've adjusted it. There's still an algorithmic stabilizer involved, but there's also a collateralization. It's collateralized, so it's sort of a hybrid. And we can do another video on that as we learn more. But one of the big things that we can focus on here, and which is captured in this chart, is that unlike other stable coins that are typically pegged one-to-one with a particular national currency, Silk is different. It is pegged to an entire basket of currencies. So it's more of an indexed coin versus something like Tether or USDC, which is collateralized purely by dollar assets and is pegged to the dollar. The problem with the hard peg to a dollar or to a euro or to any of it is that whatever changes occur in that underlying currency, those are imported right onto the stable coin. So for example, in the United States, we've had a few months of pretty high inflation. It's like 9% a year, might be higher depending on how you measure it. And so any stable coin that's pegged to the dollar is also losing that same amount of purchasing power over that same time period. So whatever the Fed does, or whatever the European Central Bank does, any stable coin that is pegged to those assets is going to experience those exact same changes and fluctuations because it's a peg, right? And so Silk has found a way out of that trap and has an index. There's a whole basket of global currencies as well as commodities, including gold and Bitcoin. Anything that there's discussion of whether or not other assets will be added, like commodities and the answer is they can add anything that can be that's price can be fetched by an oracle. So anything that has a market value, a market price that's publicly published for the public,
publicly available.
Publicly available, yeah, it can be made as a part of this basket. So this is definitely not a final form, but it is a big step towards separating stable coins from any one monetary unit and trying to capture a wider sample, right, of these prices.
And they've already added commodities. I mean, gold and Bitcoin are part of this basket. It's not just national fiat currencies that you see. So there are things there that are there to kind of have an inverse relationship and to make it
that's right,
more balanced with fiat printing. This is exciting. Now,
let's touch on that real fast because that's an important point. We were at DecentralCon. We watched the Shade speak, the Shade presentation. Carter was there, and one of the questions he was asked from the audience is, how do you guys create a stable coin and deal with this problem of what happens when the collateral comes under pressure, right? Because that's going back to Lunaterra. It was collateralized by Luna and Bitcoin. And when those two assets fell and fell under pressure, the value of the collateral fell, and then it created this death spiral, run on the bank situation, where people tried to sell, and by selling, they actually ended up creating more Luna because that's how the peg worked. And so the supply of Luna went up, and then so that became a self-fulfilling prophecy, as the thing that was falling, the supply was growing, and it became exponential, and then so it crashed to zero. So one of the questions people look at when they're trying to understand how to design a stable coin that's decentralized is, what happens to the collateral, right? What kind of, and also not what happens to it, but what is the relationship between the collateral and the underlying asset? And
right.
An inverse relationship is the goal. And the idea there is that when some kind of market activity comes and pushes prices down, does the collateral go with it, or does it trade in the opposite direction? And so that's the idea of the gold, the Bitcoin included in this basket, is that the idea is that, well, as national currencies depreciate, gold and Bitcoin ought to move inverse to that. And so you're capturing something that is that's not moving in the same direction as all the other assets. It's diversive. We're saying basically the diversity in this sense it will help secure and stabilize.
In other words, it's good to tie your boat to the dock and not tie it to another sinking ship. Basically.
Yeah, that's the way to say it. Yeah.
And so, okay, but something you mentioned in the very beginning, which I was going to mention again, because I think this is just huge in all of stable coins, whether they're centralized, algorithmic, collateral, everything on blockchain and crypto for the most part. I mean, let's talk about Monero or something that's specialized and meant to be private. But when it comes to stable coins, all stable coins are public ledger. There's no privacy. And when we've talked about this, really, when you look at the history of money and finance, money historically, people talk about store of value, medium of exchange, unit of account. Yeah, those things, those three things are true, but it's been also true that privacy has been a feature, has been a fourth feature, not in all the textbooks because it's always been innate. But now with public ledgers, that it's no longer innate, many people forget that it was part of money, and they seem to have no value or forgotten the value of privacy when it comes to exchanges. So it's very, very powerful to have a stable coin or have this digital asset built on a chain that's preserving privacy, because that's really, it almost seems like it can't be money until you have that feature. If it's something where anyone can just go on the internet and look and see everything that's ever happened, that there's something about that that's not complete or not.
Well, I like the idea is that, you know, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general was created to improve upon these legacy traditional systems. And in many ways they have, right? By one, creating scarcity in the code. You know, there's only so many coins that can be created. Another is innovation in how the coins are distributed. So instead of it becoming these things coming into existence through bank loans and then being loaned to small numbers of, you know, people, now these coins are distributed to miners, and it's more permissionless. There's airdrops and staking rewards. There's various ways of decentralizing or democratizing the distribution of new money. So that's an innovation. But like you say, this loss of privacy needs, it's definitely a regression, right? So instead of it being a progression to better what came before, in the field of privacy, it's been a loss, right? There's been a loss of liberty with the loss of privacy. And so that's what makes Shade and Silk and Secret Network such valuable protocols, because they are showing us how we can have decentralization and privacy without giving, you know, without losing that essential element that, as you rightly mentioned, money, whether it was coins or paper, it always had a privacy layer.
Well, I think is there anything else about Shade or Silk that you guys wanted to cover before we wrap this up?
Yeah, there's one point that I would mention. So there was an airdrop that initially, that was how Shade, you know, came into circulation. It was an airdrop, but it was only a partial airdrop. There's only, I think, 10% of it has been released. So the remaining, 20% rather. And in July, Shade bonds are being launched. There will be another 10% airdrop unlocked for that in that period. And then the final 70% will be unlocked with the launch of Shade Swap, Silk, and Shade Staking. So we do have, you know, if you're a IBC, Cosmos IBC, you know, staker, or if you're participating in that world, then look out for these coming airdrops, because there's some alfalfa coming your way.
And we will be giving you alfalfa. We're tuned in. We're definitely keeping our ear and our finger to the pulse of what's happening in these communities. What else was I going to say about this that you kind of reminded me of something about alfalfa, but I guess you'll just have to subscribe to our channel and catch us on the next one for when we release it. Oh, that's right. We've done a video already on the Shade airdrop. So if you've qualified for the Shade airdrop and you want to take a look at it, check out our airdrops and opportunities playlist. And yeah, this is definitely, I would say, a project, a community worth participating. There is a lot of activity, there are some really, really beautiful OGs that we had the pleasure to meet in this community that come from all walks of life, but that are really adding value to Secret Network, to Shade, and other applications built. I'm very excited about the future of this project, and we'll definitely keep you abreast of the latest developments. Congratulations to Carter and the team and everyone over at Shade and Silk. Shucks, I guess until the next time. Oh, we will leave the links below. And also, this is a link for the official Shade forum that they've released. Check out, I'm going to leave that link because There's grants. Not only can you check out the documentation yourself, but all the latest releases are going to be posted on their forum. So check out forum.shadeprotocol.io, sign up, log in, get involved, meet the community. And look, there's an ambassador program. Need to check that out. Shade bond issuance, all this. So, you know, they're very open. And this is the time to learn. You're definitely early, so take your time. And until the next time, I'm going to let Jacob say whatever it is he was going to say. What was it?
I was just going to say really quickly, just as a reminder to those who don't really understand what the utility of Shade is or the utility of Silk, you can take your asset and have a collateralized version of it that makes it liquid. And you take that liquid asset and you can compound interest by using it in their ecosystem. So it's a way for you to be able to do that all privately.
So break it down again. What's another way to say that? It's a way to, let's say we were talking about Uniswap or AMMs or DEXs or Osmosis in the past. It's a way to take your crypto, whether it's wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped Ethereum, or these different digital assets. And if you want to help grow decentralized finance and put it to work and be your own bank and help become the bank for others, you can now lock it up in an ecosystem like Shade, where you don't have to worry about miner extracted value, and you can preserve the privacy, and you can lock it up in these protocols that can earn off of fees and exchanges. They have the potential to grow and earn over time instead of it just sitting there doing nothing. I mean, really, if we look at the history of money and banking, traditionally, when people put their money in the bank, the resources were being used to somebody was using that money to make money, but it wasn't going back to your account. And this world of decentralized finance is saying, well, if there's a way that the value that you lock up is earning, then that can trickle back and go to your account. And that's the future, is people being able to receive that remuneration, receive that the benefit from whatever value they added in a decentralized automatic way.
Kind of like a community bank where the members share in the profits, like a profit sharing model.
Absolutely. There's the idea of DeFi, and how can you have it without privacy? So this is exciting news. And if you want to stay abreast of the latest, then come over here and click on the latest tab on Shade Forum, and then you might have it before we can make a video. But we will make a video. And until the next one, have a beautiful day, and namaste, y'all.
Thank you.